Hi, in this video, we are going to see in system software and compiler design. Under that, we are going to see a token separation. So that is under a lexical analysis. So when a compiler compiles a program, first it will go into a state called lexical analysis, which it will scan the each character, that is each word, and it will be matched with the keyword whether the word is already predefined or not. So according to that, it will throws you according to that, it will compile the program. And if there is any it is unmatched words are there, so it will throws an error. So that was the thing we are going to perform today. So under that lexical analysis, so that is the scanning of first phase of a compiler is which a source program is read character by character and then grouped into various tokens. So tokens define a sequence of character with collective meaning. So these are the tokens, keywords, identifier, punctuation, operators. So if, while, do, etc. in programming, they are called keywords. So these set of thing are called tokens. So for example, let us see here. They have given the input int a equal to 10, comma b equal to 20 and semicolon. And next line they have given that float wq1 is less than or equal to 100 and semicolon and end. So it in output they have been displayed that int is a keyword, a is a identifier, and 10 is a number, or sorry, equal to is a arithmetic or assignment operator, and 10 is a number. And next same b is also a identifier, equal to is arithmetic or assignment operator, and 20 is number. So like this we need to say that each word we need to fetch and we need to match, and we need to say whether it is a keyword or a identifier or any operator or punctuation, etc. So the thing we need to perform. And they have been, at last they have been given that there are totally 13 tokens they have found. So that is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 again here, that is int 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, float 9 10 11 12 13. So there are totally 13 tokens. So and it has been it is also called a keyword. So they have been regretted, that is they have been ignored that keyword, so that the thing. So this was the thing we are going to implement in a code. So let us go to a coding part. So this was the code. I'm going to implement this. I already coded, and I'm going to show how I'll code and step by step, so you can understand how it will be get executed. So first of all, I have created. I'll be deleting this so it can be now you can be understand. So the function also I'm going to delete. So initially we have been created this list, so I will keeping this list because for reference, so it will be take late for that finding that taking that keyword. So I have been taken that keywords. For keywords I have taken int, float, long, short, string, and for punctuation I am taken as command, that is semicolon. As we know that arithmetic operator and relational, assignment and logical operators, so all the things have been taken and put into separate list. So I'm waiting the input. So this the thing we are going to we can perform. So let us go to the coding part. So first of all, we need to get a input from the user. So I'm getting in a string. So string I'm taking as input. So input equal to, so this was in I'm going to implement in Java. So we need to get the string input. So for getting string input, we need to add that is scanner class in that Java to, because scanner, through this scanner class we can get the input from the user. So I am called the scanner class through s object called s. So for getting input, s dot next int, so it will get the input, that is sorry, we need to get a string, so we need to line next line. So this will get the string, and I'm taking the string, I'm taking the string, and I'm converting into a list. I'm going to split the string, given string, into a list. So I'm taking a split string, split input. I'm going to make as list, that is I'm taking that input dot split. Split is a function we can, by using the split we can make into a array. So in that string, wherever the white spaces occurs, it will split there, where the, for example, um, Java programming. So let us take Java programming. So Java, you have given Java space programming. It will take Java when one, that is the first word, and programming as the second word. Between the string, there will be a space. So in that space, it will be split. So that was the thing here. Now let us, we have been taken that, we have been taken that input. So after that, what is the process called? We need to pass into a that is for loop. So I'm going to check inside everything. So everything, every word I'm going to check with this list have been created. So if it is match, we will be printing here. So let us I equal to, so not I. Let us use that enhance for loop. That is we can take string value colon, and we can take the list, no, not the thing. First we need to take the split input. So according to the split input values only we need to make here. So what are the thing you will enter in that input, that will be the words we need to match. So according to the split input we need to design the for loop. So if I will take int I equal to 0, then I less than, I will take less than split input, that is split input dot length. So after that I plus plus. So inside this for loop, I'm going to take if the value, that is the split. First of all, we need to take a value here. You can give here, we can use this is the one way. We can use another way also, but it will be easy for constructing this for loop, that is enhance for loop. So let us take one word, that is a value string called value, and after that we can take that list. The list is colons, list is split list, we need to find the split list we need to take. So this the thing. So it will take the value from the first value will be, it will be in the list. For example, if you take a keyword here, if you replace here keyword, the value, the for loop will be run. First word will be, it will take as int, next to float it will be take, then long, short, string. So according to that it will be run the for loop. So first we are so according to that, for loop will be run. So first of all, we are going to check the value. So we are going to write a function here. So that is, we can take static. We are making a function called boolean. So it will return a boolean, and the name of the function is contain. I'm making as contains, and I'm getting the parameter, getting a parameter is key and list, string list. So two parameter I'm getting. So what is that thing? The error is cannot find symbol location. So we need to make as, I think so, public. So we need to make static. So it should be given in a small letter. So next we need to return. Boolean. So that the thing we will make. So it will be returning getting the two parameters. So after that we need to make inside that for. I'm taking that each that a key. So key. I'm taking that key. Sorry, I'm taking a value that is string value and colon. In that I'm passing a list. So inside that we are going to take if we are going to check a condition if the value in the list matches. For matching we need to make equal. So equals there is an function in a string, so it will be checked whether the both values are equal. So we need to equal with key. So if it is equal, we need to return true. Otherwise, we need to return true. Otherwise, we need to return false in the outer for loop. Return false. So that's it in the content in the list. So first of all, here we need to make use that function. So in that function, I'm passing the value, and in the list, I'm taking in the list I am passing split list. Sorry, split keyword first list keywords. So if it is, we need to print yes out. What is the thing we need to print? If it is a keyword, we need to say that what word the value, and we need to print keyword. So inside that inside that box, we need to make use that where what the value we need to say value, we need to print value. So after that, I'm giving comma keyword. This was a keyword. This was a keyword. So after that, I'm closing that bracket. So this was the thing. So here what I have been done that first of all I'm running a for loop. So I'm running a for loop, that is the value. I'm taking the split input contains the list of input. So in that list of input, the first value it will be taken as value. The first value it will be taken as value here. So it will be checked. It will be I am going to pass into a function, that is the value, the first value, and this keyword list. So in that function, if you go inside the function, what will be happen? The value. So it will take as the value is taken as key, and the list is the keyword list is taken as list. So here inside that it will check the value. The key is the called here the value. So I'm taking a list. So in this list, it will be taken one by one the value. In that keyword, it will be taken float long. So for example, here the first value will be int. So int it will be take. So int dot equals. So int dot equals key. So the key it will be passed from the taken from the split input. The split input list we are going to pass in here. So in the split input, the input first value it will be checked whether the value is contains in this list. So it will check whether if for example in that input I'm taking as int. The input first value is int. Here the keyword in the int is whether it is contains in that keyword. So in the keyword list, so it will be checked. For that it will be checked whether it is equal or not. So it will be take every value. So it will be take every value and it will be checked whether the int is equal to int. Whether int is there, yes, it is, int is there. So if it is matched, it will be written true here. So if it is written true now, if then it will be said as, here it will be come as true. So if true means it will be passed into the if statement and it will be print. So it is a keyword. So the value, and it is a keyword. So it will be print. So this was the main thing in this program. So same way we are going to find for punctuation, arithmetic, relational, assignment, and logical. So this was the thing. Whether if suppose the input value is not there in this list, so it will be written false. So it will, and then if it is written false now, if it will be comes here false, so it will be go for next statement. That is, if you write if else, it will go for the next condition and it will be checked. So for first keyword we have been done. So for next same way we are going to write the code for punctuation. So same punctuation, same, I'm calling that function contains inside that value. I am taking the split input. So if it is there, I'm going to take this. I'm going to copy, and I'm going to paste here. Instead of keyword, I'm going to write punctuation. So punctuation. Punctuation. So next same thing we are going. Let us copy this if else and let us paste here. So instead of punctuation, we need to write arithmetic or assignment. So let us write arithmetic. For arithmetic, we are going to print that arithmetic operator. So next let us write for assignment operator. So same, it will be taken and it will be checked for assignment. Assignment operator. Next let us take for logical operator. So here again it will be check. If it is there, it will be logical operator. Logical operator. We have been made a mistake here. So that is the thing here, the punctuation. So punctuation, if it is a punctuation means we need to pass a punctuation. We need to pass a punctuation list. So we have been made a mistake here. So punctuation list we are going to pass here. Here we need to pass arithmetic operator. So arithmetic list. So arithmetic list we have been passing here. So here assignment list. As assignment list we are going to pass here logical operator. So for split logical operator we are going to pass here. So after that what are the operators we have constructed? We have been inputted all relational operator we need to pass. So same relational operator. So for relational operator, so instead of split input we are going to pass relational operator. So after it next the so we have been made all the list we have been passed. So if the value contains the input contains that matches with this list, it will be print according to that values. If it is matched according to that, it will be print. But in the output they have been given that number, the number we have been missed the number and identifier. So for this thing we need to make a condition, but we cannot make a list as for identifier. We can make us identifier can be given as anything, but it should not be start with number. So instead of the except starting with number, we can give anything. For example, ABC A100. So we can give for that thing. We cannot make a list, and we cannot. So there will be a lot of combination. So that was the memory wastage. So for that, we need to use we need to think logically another thing, and another for number. So number should be if it is a number, it should be print. So same, we cannot write for number. So from 1 to etc 100,000. So we cannot make it as. So for that, another idea is that now let us, after this, we can make else spot. So inside else spot, I'm going to write I'm going to use exceptional, that is error handling concept in this Java. So here for error handling, they will use try and catch. So if a particular statement, if you're thinking it will become error, so we can use the try and catch. So without delay in that output, that is without error shown in the output, we can run the program. So for that, they will use error handling concepts. So it will be catch what? So it will be catch exception here. So exception, I'm making an object and I'm going to print inside that. So this was the thing. So first, we need to make two. We need to declare two conditions. That is, one is for number, another is for identifier. So first, let us try for number. So I'm going to print same. I'm going to print that number. So the number, the value. If it is a number, let us print the value here. That is value here. Uh, that value I am going to print, but not a value I'm going to print. I'm going to evaluate that value, whether it is a number or not, whether it is a number or identifier. Only two cases, two possibilities are there, because all the for all the condition we have been make a, or for all the cases we have been make a condition. So whether it will be a identifier or number. So if it is a number, means I'm going to use double here, double operator. So double is a one of the integer, that is one of the data type double. So it can hold a integer as well as float. So if you give 20, for example, if you give 10, it will be converted into 10.0. And if you give 23.5, it will be stored as 23.5. So both cases we can be used, but it will store 0.0. So if you give integer number, it will be stored, after that it will be stored 0.0. So for that, I am going to parse. So I'm going to convert this value into double. So parse double. So I'm going to convert that value into double. And after that, that will be print here. So after that, I'm going to say this is a number. That's the thing. So here, whether the value is, for example, the value is 10. So here the value is 10 means it will be converted into double. So it will be print as 10.0. For example, in another case, if value is string. Now let us. I'm showing. I'll show you an example that I'll be. So I make a comment here, and I'm declaring on string called string number. So number I'm going to take as 23, and after that I'm going to print. I'm going to make it as double. So double parse double, that is string. So if you pass the string and if we run that thing, you will see that 23.0. So the string contains the number. So if we convert into a double, so it will be converted and it will be print. So suppose if the string contains ABC 23. So if it is the thing here, if it's the case here, so now if we run the program, it will show error because Java number format exception. So that is we cannot change that. The string cannot be changed into number because ABC is not a number, it is a string. So it cannot be changed into number. The 23 can be changed into number because it is a number, we know. So that's the concept here I have been used here. So same concept were made. So same the thing we are going to use here. So if it is a number, it will be changed. Otherwise, it will be throw an error. So that error will be catch here. And if it is an error, that is, if it is an identifier, it will be throw an error. So here we can make use of this catch. So we can print. It will be whether it is a number now. It will be print number this double. Otherwise it will be identifier, so it will be throw an exception, so it will be comes to the catch block. So here we can write it is a identifier. So we can make uh, we can write this as we can print that value. So after that we can give identifier. So that's the thing. Now let us run the program. Let us see, let us run, it will be work or not. So let us give int a equal to 10, b equal to 20. So it will be run successfully. That is, int is keyword, a is identifier, equal to is assignment operator, 10 is a number, so it is converted into 10.0. And comma is punctuation, b is identifier, equal to is assignment operator, 20 is number, and semicolon is punctuation. So our output matches here. But the thing they have been made that they have been counted identifier. So this is identifier 1, 2, and 3, and they have been print a number of tokens. So here that's the thing we need to make here. That's it. We can declare two variable, that is, one is for identifier, that is, let us take it as 0. Another is for tokens. So number of tokens, we can make it as 0. So both it will be 0. So inside that for loop, so if everything, so here if if else everything, it will be considered as token. So the arithmetic, punctuation, keyword, everything will be considered as token. So if we pass, if the condition, the control pass to any block, it will be considered as token. So instead of writing into every block, that is, instead of writing into every block token, we need to increment the token. Let us give commonly here, that is, I'll give as number of tokens I will be increment here. So for identifier, we need to specify in that identifier block. So identifier block, I am specifying in identifier plus plus. Whenever it pass into identifier block, so it will be increment, and this will be, it will be returning that we need to print that which identifier 1 or 2. So I am printing identifier. So that's it. It will be print. Now let us run once again. Run the final. This will be the final output. So int a equal to, I'm giving 10. Then b equal to 20. So sorry, I forgot to print that total number of things. So here identifier 1 and identifier 2. At last, we need to print the total number of tokens. So outside of for loop, we can give that number of tokens. So this is the ending of the for loop. So after that, we can print uh, total token. So total tokens, total number of tokens. Sorry, total number of tokens. So inside here, we need to print that total, that number of tokens. So number of tokens I've been printing. So now let us again run. This will be our final output. So a equal to 10, comma, b equal to 20. So here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So totally 9 tokens. So after each the thing, it will be printed here. So this was the token separation, the process of token separation, that is under that lexical analysis. That was the thing that the compiler will be done in during that compilation process. So that's it from me, and thank you.